discontentedly up at him was the order to arrest a man named Signor Lehner. The town of Giorino, situated beside Lake Como, was a rather small detachment, and action of any sort in the field of police work was particularly rare, if ever. Ezio's worst cases involved bored teenagers causing trouble, or elderly widows worried about imagined dilemmas that were clearly placeholders for desired human interaction. But this order, especially given the gravity of the crime, was of exceptional concern to Ezio, and he struggled with the correct course of action. He had intended to arrest Signor Lehner on a previous occasion, but his conscience had stayed his hand, and Ezio did not follow through, especially since Signor Lehner was entirely ignorant of the charge, as he should be. Signor Lehner's only crime was the accident of his birth. While most Italians cared little for their fascist counterparts in Germany and their hatred for the Jewish race, the law was clear as to what was required for Jews, especially those of foreign birth. Signor Lehner, unfortunately, had immigrated from Austria, and Ezio's orders were to arrest him for noncompliance. A squeak sprung from the southwest corner of the office. Ezio ceased breathing as he stilled his body and waited anxiously for another noise that would reveal his enemy's location. He was certain that he had finally discovered where his adversary was camping, and didn't want to miss this opportunity to expel the rodent. "Get ready," Ezio spoke softly to his cat, Wolfgang, who was sitting sleepily on the edge of a chair next to the desk. Another squeak. "Now is your chance," Ezio whispered harshly to Wolfgang, not wanting to scare the rat into silence. Yet, when Wolfgang showed no interest, Ezio sighed in his frustration and unholstered his pistol as he pointed the weapon into the dark corner. He would kill the vermin by any means necessary. Drawing a deep breath, he steadied his aim while slowly placing his finger over the trigger, ready to squeeze at the first sign of movement. "Lieutenant Ezio!" Second Lieutenant Armando burst into the office, his face buried in a newspaper. Startled, Ezio nearly fired off a round, but with an annoyed huff, he returned the pistol to his holster. Emitting a loud, defiant squeal, the rat took its opportunity and scurried along the wall to the northern side of the building. "You damned nuisance!" Ezio grabbed a pen from the desk and threw it with all his might at his target, who narrowly escaped. "The pen is not mightier than the pistol, I see." Armando studied Ezio with peculiarity. "You're useless." Ezio pointed an angry finger at Wolfgang. "The rat is back, then, is it?" Armando closed the door behind him. "Have you placed Wolfgang on half rations yet?" "He's down to half a cup of milk." Ezio sat back in his chair as he glared at the cat. "I believe hunger is not his motivation, but never mind that. What is so urgent?" "The result of the bombings by the Americans last night." Armando slammed the paper down on the desk as he tapped his finger repeatedly and enthusiastically on the article. "Mio Dio!" Ezio sat upright quickly as he snatched the paper and began reading frantically. The newspaper displayed a menacing picture of a sky littered with black dots that was set beside another photograph of the resulting devastation. A family was pictured outside their home in shock and grief, where a mother half-heartedly held a brick down by her side. It was likely all that was left of her house, and Ezio's heart broke for her. "B-42s," Ezio sighed. "See, as far as I can tell." Armando leaned over the desk, and Ezio thought that he appeared nervous. "We're far away from the danger." Ezio spoke softly to calm the second lieutenant's nerves. "This is the first strike by the Americans in the south. We're far removed."